Welcome to a brand new edition of the Taiwan Outlook. I'm your host, Raymond Wu. We all know that golf is an important and very big sport in Taiwan, but do you know that golf is often connected with charitable causes in Taiwan as well? And today on the program, we're going to have the chairperson of the Hsinchu Golf Association, Ms. Barbara Wang, as our special guest to talk about golf and charity. Barbara, welcome to the program.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Raymond Wu.
Well, thank you. Just call me Raymond.
Okay.
And I want to start off by asking you a little bit about yourself, because you have a somewhat of an unconventional upbringing in the sense that you were born in the States, but you came back to Taiwan with your parents, and you went to part of your schooling here in Taiwan, especially in the bilingual program in Hsinchu. And later on, you went back to the States and finished your college education at Stanford, one of the leading universities in the world. So can you tell us a little bit about your upbringing and your experiences in the U.S. as well as in Taiwan?
Okay, sure. Thank you, Raymond. Very simply, I was born in the States, and the Ministry of Economic Affairs invited my father to come back to the Science Park to start his company. My dad has an environmental firm in the Science Park. It does water purification. And at the time when he came back, they established the National Experimental High School in the Science Park.
Yes, because there was a demand for it, right?
Yes. To bring it back, these brains back to Taiwan.
And the family came back with them, that they needed some place for the kids.
Yes, to start schooling.
Yes.
Because schooling is so important in education. We value that, right? Yes. So I was one of the first generations, or the first group that went through the bilingual program in the Science Park, in the school. And I, my Chinese is not that good, actually, to be honest with you.
Very modest. Yes.
No. I had to learn my Chinese from scratch.
Okay.
Actually,
was it difficult?
It's very difficult. And to be honest with you, I actually prefer to actually do things in English. Even with registering our golf association. I didn't understand, or I couldn't read. I mean, my Chinese is not that good, much less I can't even understand the rules and the laws and the regulations.
It's very complex.
Yeah, you need to be a lawyer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit difficult. But in Taiwan, I think usually when you come back as a overseas Chinese, usually I think with the college entrance exams back in those days, or during my years, there was added points for the college entrance exam.
Yes.
I remember vividly that summer, I actually begged my father. I kneeled on the ground and begged him, just let me go to the States. The schooling system here, I mean, there's no way. I'm one of these people, I'm more into extracurricular activities.
Yes.
I don't think I could survive in a system where...
you got to hit the books.
Yeah, you have to hit the books.
Yes.
And just every grade counts.
Yes.
1 point deciphers your fate. It changes your college that you enter into. So I begged my father, I go, just let me go to a 2-year community college. My father didn't understand what the hell a community college was.
You mean in Taiwan?
No, in the States.
Okay.
I went to Pasadena City College.
Okay,
because most of my relatives were in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And I promised my dad I would transfer.
Okay.
Now, as you know, freshmen getting to Stanford, the odds are as tough as it is.
Yes.
As a transfer student,
it's even tougher.
Yes. Okay. Now, my father...
You had to do really well in the first 2 years.
Well, my father is still questioning how I even got into Stanford. He's still dumbfounded. He doesn't understand how I got in. I opened up the U.S. News and World Report. I applied from 1 to 20.
Okay.
I got into all of them except for Princeton because they didn't take transfer students.
Okay.
Harvard, I don't know what the reason was.
Okay.
And UCLA.
Okay. Even though you were in the neighborhood.
Yeah, in the neighborhood with a 4.0.
Yes.
So my counselors are like, "Oh, do you want to sue? Is this discrimination?" I'm just like, "No, it's okay."
Yes.
I chose Stanford because of the spirit. I think
in the sense of being more open or accommodating and things.
No. It's more entrepreneurship. Leadership. Creativity. It embodies that. It lives it. It breathes it. It shows it in terms of results.
Next to Silicon Valley.
Yeah, next to Silicon Valley. I mean, most of my classmates are like Jerry Yang from Yahoo, eBay. We lived it. We breathed it. Okay. A lot of us, we prefer to start in upstarts, do our own thing. But To be honest with you, I think I got into Stanford not because of grades. Okay, I know
Even though your grades were very good, yes.
Definitely not grades, not SAT scores, because most Chinese students have the grades and have the SAT scores. I believe it was my extracurricular activities.
Okay, what did you do at Pasadena City College?
I was a student trustee on the board of trustees.
Okay.
I brought a lot of Chinese schools over and introduced the community college system.
Okay.
But I think the deciphering thing, the thing that got me into Stanford would probably be because I petitioned Governor Pete Wilson about the California state budget. He was cutting education, and I was taking summer school in UCLA. Okay. And I noticed a lot of students sitting on the ground, begging the professor every day after class to add into the class. I asked one of the students who treated me to a cup of coffee. He explained to me he was from East LA. He was from, a tough neighborhood.
Exactly.
And he explained to me that this was his ticket out of poverty. Okay. And he seemed to really mean it.
Yeah.
So I actually offered to the professor, I give up my seat for him.
Okay.
Because he deserves it more than I do. Because I'm here only just for summer school, just for fun. And he needed to graduate.
Okay.
Because of the budget cutbacks in California, right, it now took a student 5 years to graduate in a 4-year college. Okay. Now, I promised my dad, I told you I never lie. No. I promised my father I would be at UCLA. Okay. So I already gave up my seat. Okay. I didn't have a class to go to, so I had to stay at UCLA. But I'm one of these people where I can't be apathetic. I always believe that by changing, you start with yourself. So I literally took a little coffee table or desk, a chair, and any student that passed by, I asked them, are you registered as a California voter? I registered about over 20,000 registered voters.
Over 2 weeks?
Yeah, in a short period of time span, during summer school. And I brought it to Sacramento. Because I knew that Governor Pete Wilson, why would he listen to, Miss Barbara Wang? Who am I? I'm just a nobody. So I believe that by getting 20,000 registered voters,
that give you the clout.
The people power. Okay, and I think that's what got me into Stanford, is because on my essay it asked me if I could spend one evening with somebody.
Okay.
Who would it be? And I
what
said,
would you talk about? Right.
And I discussed this.
Governor Pete Wilson, and then you will talk about the budget cuts.
Not cutting education. But funding education. Instead of cutting welfare. Because I think welfare, because they were reallocating the money over to welfare, and it was this person from East LA was explaining to me that that's not the way to go. He valued education as well.
Exactly. Yes.
So I think that was true to my heart, to any Chinese culture or tradition or whatever, and I lived it and I breathed it, and I think Stanford recognized that.
I think for people who are watching our program, so far about 5 minutes into the interview with Miss Barbara Wang, we already came away with the impression that you started off at a very tender age, maybe college age or even earlier, that become very much interested and motivated with public causes. Can you share with us what were the reasons, what were the factors, what were there things or events or developments when you were growing up, whether it's in the States or in Taiwan, that got you interested, not so much in just hitting the books, but in extracurricular activities and in terms of educational causes or other things, more societal concerns. What got you motivated at the very beginning? Okay,
well, I think with most of my charitable causes, I guess I start out, by personality-wise, I'm just a curious person.
You're very engaged.
Yes. I always ask why, or why something is this way. And I think I'm also very sensitive in the fact that I'm very appreciative. I think, I come from a middle-class background. My father's provided very well for the family. But I think I'm very sensitive in the fact that I always want to contribute back to society, or the people less fortunate ones. So I think there's a lot of different incidents where, I would want to help out, or I would want to change things. I even believe, I think because I have a lot of clients and other elders who also teach me. To not only give, but to see if you can change your environment.
Make a difference.
Make a difference. Make a difference. I remember one time, I think a few years back in Taiwan, there was a single mother who gave birth to a child in her little studio or her bathroom because she couldn't afford to go to a hospital to give birth.
Okay.
Okay. She had a husky dog. Okay. And I'm not sure if you remember this, but
That's right.
it was in the news.
Yes.
And so she had the baby in the bathroom, I think in the toilet, and
the husky dog went for help.
Yeah.
Went for.
The husky actually picked up the baby. The mother, I think, was unconscious because I mean, she's like there giving birth by herself. She was unconscious or like fatigue or whatever. The husky picked up the baby, licked the baby clean, and gave it warmth until
somebody
help came.
Yes.
Now I remember this fact very vividly because I was one of the rare few that called that wanted to adopt both the child and the dog. In Taiwan, I think there was like hundreds of phone calls to adopt the husky.
Yes.
And going through the process, because I went down to the South, I cleared everything in terms of financial background, sanity, just
everything.
Then they wanted me to produce a marriage certificate. Because by Taiwan law, I'm sure a lot of people don't know this, but by Taiwan law, to adopt here in Taiwan,
you need to be married.
You need to be officially married.
Yes.
Okay. So little things like that, I feel like, why am I being discriminated when I still have the love or I can still
have the means available? Yes, So certainly we're very much, touched by what Barbara said, that how she got interested and motivated with a lot of the social causes and concerns. And we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back to the Taiwan Outlook. We'll continue this conversation with Miss Barbara Wang. We're going to ask her about her commitment to charitable causes through the sport of golf. We'll be right back.